Political violence is different than any other type of violence for lots of different reasons. One, because in the very act that Charlie championed of expression, that freedom of expression that is enshrined in our founding documents, in having his life taken in that very act makes it more difficult for people to feel like they can share their ideas, that they can speak freely. We will never be able to solve all the other problems, including the violence problems that people are worried about, if we can't have a clash of ideas safely.
Utah Governor Spencer Cox stressing why he believes this act of violence matters so much, how it hits at the core of an American value we hold sacred, the right to freedom of speech, especially speech we may disagree with. Those remarks came Friday as we learned that a 22-year-old suspect, Tyler Robinson, was arrested for Kirk's murder. Already, social media sleuths have tried digging into this person's background and political beliefs in the search to understand why. What could have motivated this person to kill another? As we just discussed, there's a lot of toxicity online right now. When it comes to how we move forward from this, what happens next? So let's pick up the conversation here. You know, we were talking about a lot of the different voices just going at each other online. How much responsibility is also on our leaders in the speech that they are using right now in the discourse? We have sitting politicians right now, some sitting Kentucky lawmakers right now, some who've been on the show saying statements like, the left is evil. We shouldn't have to share a society with these people. Is that also irresponsible?
I mean, if I believed that, I wouldn't be here with Jared. Yeah. We discussed, we've already recorded our podcast today. We're taping this show on Friday. We taped the podcast on Friday. And I said, if I were to just cloister myself and only talk to people who I agree with politically and only purchase products from and, frequent businesses, I wouldn't leave the house. I wouldn't talk to them because, I live in listen to is produced by liberals. The restaurants I eat at, to act like people that you disagree with are your mortal enemies is just, it's ridiculous. And it's not helpful, and it's not true. What I'm concerned most about is we did see a lot of national politicians, including Donald Trump, making what seemed like the right statements in the immediate aftermath. It didn't look like it had any effect on the level of discourse online. Now, online is not real, but it only takes one nut job for something else bad to happen. And I worry that we've gone so far that I don't know that the politicians can pull it back. That they have driven in the pursuit of whether it's the pursuit of votes, the pursuit of fundraising, in the case of both liberal and conservative media, in the pursuit of clicks and ratings. Have we driven the two sides so far off the rails that the conductors can't get it back anymore? That's my biggest concern right now. Jared?
My biggest concern is that it is, 5% of the online left, and I don't know how big MAGA is, but 5% probably of Republicans that feel this way. But yet, as Abby pointed out on the podcast this morning, it does matter because they're affecting 100% of us. And so it doesn't matter there's just 5% of them. Like Trey and I started doing this thing on Twitter called Helping or Not Helping to draw awareness. Like, this is the only way I think we can try to use our own voice to help calm down everything. And people are still not helping. The Utah governor, amazing speech today. Top notch. That's great. I mean, and we need more of that.
Do you think that there's any sort of a government reaction or policy reaction? I'm not necessarily talking about gun control here.
Yes, I have one.
But what? Yeah,
yep.
Go ahead.
I've already put it on X. We talked about the podcast. I believe a lot of what's going on is driven by the algorithms that are used for the For You page and for Facebook now at least has on the front page. Used to search for it. There's at least on the front page. If you swipe over a column on your app that will show you just your friend's post. But it defaults to the feeding you an algorithm.
Yeah.
And those algorithms are fed to, are programmed to provide the content that engages people the most, whether it's good engagement or bad engagement. I believe that the government should look at it, not just social media, all media, should look at banning feeding viewers and patrons of their platforms content based on algorithms, because I think that people are using these algorithms to profit on fomenting discord and fomenting hate in this country. Whether it's intentional or not doesn't matter, because that's what draws activity. That's what draws, hate draws passion, and passion draws eyes, and eyes draw money. And I think that if you were to ban that, and if you went to X or Facebook and all you saw was a timelined, or you could even do an algorithm, but it's only your followers. It's when you go to the For You page and it's all these, and since I've left the party and have taken to calling out both the right and left, my For You page is just a hellscape, because I get both of them. I get the conservatives and the liberals on it, and it's awful.
Yeah.
I don't follow any of them.
Mine too, which is why I know that Laura Loomer's still openly today calling for civil war, and she has the ear of a lot of people, and that is deadly, and that is dangerous. And Zuckerberg and Elon and all of them are making so much money on this. The Chinese, they're all making so much money on this, and they're damaging the country. And I hope they don't damage it beyond repair.
And here's the thing. We have two things in this country that make governing the country slightly more difficult than everywhere else in the world, but also make our country unique and great. You know, all these people say, well, this gun violence doesn't happen nowhere else in the world. Nowhere else in the world has the Second Amendment like we have. The way that it's written, the broadness of it. No one else has the First Amendment as broad and concrete as we have. Both of those things are great. They make our country a fantastic place. Both of those things make it hard to pull back from this problem specifically. So the government can't go in and like ban social media or ban speech like they do in other countries. We can ban the algorithms. The algorithms are not free speech. They're computer programs, and they are feeding into the problems. That's 100% where I would go.
And Facebook's admitted to manipulating users' time.